Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's talk. I want to talk about my second installment in my Birth of a Conspiracy Theorist. And today, I would like to tackle a conspiracy theory that seems to be. It happened, let's see, about 10 and a half years ago. And it is still. Is it safe to talk about? Can we talk about what we think? Sandy Hook. Now I have to be careful. I presume I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I can't say, but there seems to be some strange things in this country, when it comes to free speech. Um, People are not allowed to say what they think. That is libel or slander, or I couldn't believe what happened to Alex Jones on this one day. Wasn't he like sued for $1 billion or something ridiculous? This it just goes to show you that something is wrong in this country. But I just want to tell you just a little bit about my story. I'm not gonna. I don't care what you believe. I don't want to try to convince anybody of anything. But I just want to share my journey on the Sandy Hook thing. Soon after it happened, I was like everyone else, saw what it was that broadcast on television. Had no reason to doubt that, and then I can't remember how long it was. I was a terrible tragedy, and I had no doubt reason to doubt that, and then I can't remember. I stumbled on it, or somebody turned me on to it. A YouTube video about the press conference that one of the parents gave, and this parent happens to. I won't even mention that. I don't want to mention names, but this person happened to give a press conference at like the day or after, or 2 days after, supposedly the child was killed. I wouldn't even say if it's a man or woman. I'll just say the parent was on the news, and the cameras were rolling before the news broadcast, or maybe there was a separate camera. I don't know, but it showed him getting ready to be interviewed by the working himself up into a emotional panic to show more emotion. I said the gender. To show more passion, or not, what do you call it? Emotion in his interview. And I looked at that and I said, what in the heck is that? Anyways, I'm just saying it started me down a journey. And like I say, it was very similar to Apollo 11. That was the thing that sent me down a certain path. But it ended up being the smallest thing. The smallest reason for doubt that I found afterwards. But I don't want to get into too many details, but I'm really more concerned about freedom of speech. And aren't we allowed to say what we think? But anyways, in a nutshell, it sent me down a journey, and I scoured the internet for about, probably a good year. I was trying to convince myself that this was as advertised. This event happened as advertised on the news. And I'm telling you, the more I looked, the more the more doubts I had. And so, someone's controlling the narrative. You're allowed to say certain things. You cannot say anything against the official story. It's the strangest thing. Um, and I don't even want to get into too many details about that for fear of getting myself in hot water. But what? We're not. Certain thoughts are off limits. Certain comments are off limits because it might hurt someone's feelings. What kind of country are we living in now? RFK Jr. Now running for president. I'm not a Democrat, but that's one Democrat I could vote for. RFK Jr. I love him. He's not afraid to say what he thinks, and challenge the narrative. And I'm looking forward to someone, him or Trump or DeSantis, to restore that back to this country. We are in a strange place. Wait, what should I mean, how can I talk about this? And different people have. There was a guy named what was his name? Wolfgang Halpin or Halbert or something. That was a former school administrator, former cop, and for whatever reason he saw so many things that he didn't like about what was going on with this investigation, and he started to investigate it. And I'm pretty sure that he was brought to a screeching halt by the powers that be, because he was hitting on too many sensitive nerves, and anyways, it was. Oh, I wanted to say just to cover over some of the facts that I thought was strange. First of all, this kid goes into the school, shoots up the school, and kills. How many was it? Was it 26 or 21 children and teachers? And not one of his victims, he had 100% kill rate. No one got shot by him, or I should say, no one saw him that lived to tell about it. Okay, that's one thing. Strange thing. The school had just installed a new surveillance system. And I don't know if he was captured on video, but we were never shown it, right? We were never shown any of the blood, any of the bodies. Supposedly the parents weren't even able to see their dead children until the middle of the night, that night, to identify the bodies. There's a coroner that anyways, to this day, I've never seen any footage of that event that made me think that what we saw advertised on television was exactly what happened. It's the strangest thing. There was a sign out front. Visitors. What did it say? There were porta potties there. There were big signs, traffic signs that said, "All visitors report to this one building." When I say visitors, the parents coming back to check on their children, and it's a strange thing. Also, one of the other strange things, there was a helicopter up above taking video and it showed people going in the nearby fire department, going out one door, coming in, going around, coming in the other door. Make it look like there was a constant stream of people. It's just weird behavior. And then from above, there's one guy was filmed a young kid who was, I don't know what his role was or whatever, but he was wandering aimlessly from place to place to place, almost like he was told just to keep moving, just to keep moving. And then everybody on the grounds had a ID badge. Strange stuff. And then the neighbor, couple houses up, had this elaborate story of kids being transported by the bus, the school bus, and being dropped off of his house and coming into his house, and have this emotionally felt story about the children saying that their teacher got shot, our teacher got shot, and the guy gave the same interview about 5 or 6 times, and he almost recited this script verbatim each time, even did it in Spanish. And he had the emotion at the same generate the emotion at the same time, and everyone in the interviews, and it was just like, it was almost like a script. And then there happened to be just a mile away a active shooter training program going on at that very minute, just like a mile away, or maybe a few miles away. It was weird. I still don't know what to. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen. Looking all the footage, I can't make heads or tails of what, people I trust say, oh, it was a real event. Oh. Oh boy, this is the first time this has happened in America. I want to keep this to about 15 minutes, but okay, so there's like 3 triage units set up outside to receive injured children and injured parents. Nobody came out. Not one person. There was a woman who they loaded into, or who was awake and smiling or something, and was loaded into an ambulance and whisked off to the hospital. But other than that, it was the strangest thing. There was a cop, and this is mostly from the footage that you can see from above, from the helicopter footage. A cop sitting around, chatting it up, sitting over a car, having coffee and donuts. It looked like a movie set or some. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but this is the strangest thing I've ever seen, and I still don't know to this day. And I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. Believe it you want, but you can think what you want. Should be able to say what you want, but we know you can't say that. So, anyways, it was weird, and then there was footage of parents walking home afterwards after this event, and a man in a nun costume walking next to what you think was a nun, And I guess he's walking next to his wife. And then he reaches down and holds hands with his wife, and he's in a nun costume? I haven't even thought about this for years, but it's now been 11 years. Do you think we can talk about it? Is it safe to talk about? YouTube will probably pull this video, I don't know. But more than speaking specifically about Sandy Hook, what? Can we have free dialogue and share our thoughts about what we think? It's the strangest trend in this country, and it's very, very troubling, and I don't, it's just so strange to me. I don't know. So, I don't want to go point by point and what's strange about it, but it was just the strangest tragedy. And I don't know. I can't explain it. This baffles me. Oh, and then the mayor comes down and gives a press conference and gives the strangest press conference. We were warned about something like this would happen, or what? We were warned that something like this, or something to that effect, and I'm going, what in the heck is going on here? This is a strange, strange thing. And, okay, here's another thing I'll just talk about. The parking lot. There's a lot strange about the parking lot to me, but it almost looks like it was an event parking, like they had a valet parking everybody. Hey, park here, head first, park here. Every car head first, head first, head first. You know, no cars this way, that way. You know, everything's lined like this. And then there was a story of a guy who drove by the school that morning and saw all kinds of, I don't know, it was just a strange thing. The media could not even get to the, I don't know, I've said enough. I'll probably get to this before I get pulled, but the strangest thing I have ever seen. Anyways, stay tuned for the next conspiracy theory. So that's how a conspiracy theorist is born. Watching the news and thinking, that doesn't make sense. They're telling me this, they're telling me that, they're telling me this. It doesn't add up. Anyways, strange, strange thing. Alrighty, enough said. Bye-bye.